Conor McGregor said he went on a spiritual journey? He said he went on a spiritual journey.
He never fight me, and the UFC never let me fight Conor McGregor. It's a nightmare for him.
Amid the growing demands for an Ilia Topuria showdown, Arman Tsarukyan just sent shockwaves through the MMA world, unleashing a brutal message for Conor McGregor. Recently, Arman sat down with Daniel Cormier to discuss his future and everything heating up after his latest victory. As the talks of Ilia Topuria calling for a fight with Paddy Pimblett continued to swirl, Cormier didn't hold back, saying Topuria's interest in Paddy is more of a joke, a stunt for fun. In Cormier's eyes, the real challenge for Topuria isn't Paddy at all, it's Arman Tsarukyan. He stressed that Arman's skill set is exactly the kind of threat that could cause Topuria serious problems inside the octagon.
I think Paddy Pimblett's fun. I think Paddy Pimblett has a bright future in fighting. But I believe that the two best lightweights in the world, if Islam Makhachev is now the welterweight champion, it's Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria, bro. And that's not even in question anymore. I thought that Paddy Pimblett getting in the octagon after Ilia won the belt, to me was a little bit odd because I didn't feel like him beating Michael Chandler should have warranted him being in that spot. I thought that the biggest issue would be trying to do away with the images of Paddy in the cage with Ilia after he became the champion. But then when you watch Arman Tsarukyan last weekend, bro, he's big, he's strong, he can really wrestle, he can strike, he can do just about everything, and his top control is what's a real issue.
According to Daniel Cormier, this is a threat even Topuria's own fans can't overlook. He believes Arman Tsarukyan brings a complete package, not just elite grappling, but sharp, disciplined striking that makes him a genuine problem for Ilia Topuria. Cormier emphasized that Arman's fight IQ and his ability to control every moment inside the octagon might be his biggest weapons, comparing parts of his approach to that of Islam Makhachev. In Cormier's view, there's no real debate about who Topuria should face next because Tsarukyan is the matchup that truly puts him to the test.
He can strike, he can do just about everything, and his top control is what's a real issue. And I believe that's the problem. That's the scary thought for anyone that are Ilia Topuria fans. Because if there's anyone that could replicate that game of Makhachev, or at least to a degree, Arman Tsarukyan.
When asked about taking another fight before a title shot, Tsarukyan was quick and decisive. He made it clear that he isn't interested in just any opponent and is only focused on the biggest challenges in the division. His stance sends a strong message that his sights are firmly set on the fighters who truly matter, leaving little room for distractions along the way.
Would you fight again before getting the title fight?
No way.
No, you shouldn't have to.
If it's not Conor McGregor, I wouldn't fight.
You want to fight Conor McGregor, man? He said he just came back. Did you see Conor McGregor say he went on a spiritual journey?
When the conversation turned to Conor McGregor and his recent claims of a spiritual journey hinting at a possible comeback, Tsarukyan didn't hold back. He responded with unwavering confidence, making it clear that a fight with McGregor is highly unlikely and framing the scenario as a real nightmare for the Irish superstar. His words combined humor and seriousness in just the right measure, delivering a message that was sharp, unmistakable, and impossible to ignore, leaving no doubt about where he stands in the ongoing debate.
Conor McGregor said he went on a spiritual journey. He said he went on a spiritual journey.
He never fight me, and the UFC never let me fight Conor McGregor. It's a nightmare for him.
Arman Tsarukyan seems to understand the madness of the current lightweight scene better than most, with McGregor chasing headlines even outside the octagon and Ilia Topuria throwing out calls at everyone from Islam Makhachev to Paddy Pimblett. The division is a whirlwind of speculation and hype. Amid all this chaos, though, many insiders and fans agree on one thing: the most logical and serious path forward points straight to Tsarukyan.
It is quite obvious that the best fight you can make at 155 is Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan. Paddy Pimblett would have some redeeming value as a grudge match, Justin Gaethje kind of hanging around. That was the best performance by Arman Tsarukyan in his career by a million miles. He can wrestle, he can scramble, he comes in pretty good shape. He's adding positional advancement, the submission attempt, putting hand and feet combinations together.
And he wasn't there to test his 5-round cardio. He was there to finish him.
Where did Dan Hooker have more success than Arman Tsarukyan in this fight? Nowhere.
Just tattoos.
Just tattoos.
I predicted Tsarukyan Tsarukyan would run through him, and the fact that the odds balloon still didn't prepare me for how impressed I would be.
With Tsarukyan's unwavering confidence and Daniel Cormier backing him up, one thing is undeniable. Arman is firmly among the elite in the lightweight division. His playful jabs at lesser opponents or warnings about being McGregor's nightmare aren't mere bravado. They reflect a fighter who knows his place at the top. Even as the UFC's matchmaking seems uncertain, Tsarukyan's presence and skills send a clear signal that he's a force no contender can overlook.
Tsarukyan and Topuria, you want to make the fight for any number of reasons: style, meritocracy, who's a real threat to the title. Both English speakers, but non-Americans here. I think we should have some managed expectations about like what kind of box office return that actually gets us.
Sure.
It's one of the best fights you can make in the sport. It's clearly the best fight at 155 pounds. Arman Tsarukyan turned into from a caterpillar into a butterfly. If we're going to bypass Pimblett, what do you do with him?
I don't know if Gaethje will do it because he seems to be title shot at retirement. You can go Max Holloway. You could plug in Patty now. Tsarukyan's the hot thing of the moment. Make that fight.
With the growing demands of making Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan, Islam Makhachev didn't hold back this time. In his view, it's becoming crystal clear that Ilia Topuria is avoiding Arman Tsarukyan, and the lightweight champ believes the reason is simple. Arman is the toughest stylistic nightmare Ilia could face. Makhachev went as far as saying that if the UFC books this matchup, he's confident Tsarukyan gets the job done. According to Islam, Arman's pressure, pace, and relentless grappling make him the biggest threat to Topuria's undefeated aura, something Ilia might not be ready to risk just yet.
Я хотел задать вопрос Исламу. Считаешь ли ты Армана самым серьезным соперником для Ильи? И не кажется ли тебе, что Топурия избегает его?
Ну, что избегает, не секрет. Я уже видел там баталии в интернете, где он говорит, я лучше завершу карьеру, чем буду с ним драться. И я думаю на данный момент, что Арман набрал хорошие обороты, и это самый серьезный экзамен для чемпиона.
Not everyone sees it the way Makhachev does. UFC star Kamaru Usman cautions against calling it ducking, pointing out that Ilia Topuria has consistently backed up everything he's claimed inside the octagon. In Usman's view, Topuria actually brings a skill set that makes him a very tough challenge for Arman Tsarukyan. While the matchup is still highly anticipated by fans, Usman emphasizes that labeling Ilia as avoiding Arman is unfair. Sometimes a fight is simply difficult because both fighters are elite, not because anyone is running away.
Now, for a fight like Arman and Ilia, it's very hard to doubt Ilia because everything he said that he was going to do, he's done, correct? So who are we to say now you're a liar, that you can't beat that guy, you can't defeat that guy? So, you know, for me, I think it's going to be an incredible fight. It's one of the most anticipated fights that I would want to see as well. Also with Nasruddin Imavov and Hamzat Chimaev, that's a highly anticipated fight, potentially. Or Ilia versus Justin Gaethje. These are three fights that I want to see 2026.
On the other hand, lightweight ace Islam Makhachev takes a different view than Kamaru Usman. He points out that in the UFC, once a fighter secures a big win and makes the required weight, they're ready for a title shot. In his opinion, Arman Tsarukyan more than deserves a chance after his dominant submission win over Hooker. Makhachev also highlighted that Ilia Topuria would face a real challenge in Arman, who is one of the toughest opponents he could meet. He even predicted that if the fight happens and Arman comes fully prepared, he has every chance to get the job done against Ilia.
In your opinion, what is the most proper fight at the moment right now in lightweight division? Is it between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan? Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look at historically, if you look at somebody who spots the fight, the championship fight, and makes the weight, he usually gets the title fight. Never happened that they didn't get a title fight. He proved it. I mean, you know, everybody said that he had problem cutting weight, but he proved that he can do it, that he can go all the way down to the championship weight. So he proved the fact that he deserves the shot, and I think it's the only proper fight right now is for him to get the shot. Who do you think has more chances of winning that fight? If Arman comes out prepared and with the right mindset, then he's got more chances to win.
While the MMA world keeps buzzing about a showdown between Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria, Ilia seems to have his eyes on Paddy Pimblett instead. Fans and fighters alike, including Robert Whittaker, argue that Arman is the natural next challenge for Topuria, given his skill set and recent performances. But Ilia appears focused on Paddy, hinting that the matchup everyone expects might not be his priority, adding another layer of intrigue and debate in the lightweight division.
Should it be Paddy or should it be Arman Tsarukyan against Ilia?
Nah, Arman. It's got to be Arman. Because he was in contention, got injured, had to pull out. He fought his way back to contention. He deserves the shot now. Paddy, I think Paddy's doing amazing stuff, but we've seen a growth in him over the last couple fights that were exponential. I want to see him fight one more of the top 5 opponents sort of guy. I want to see him fight Oliveira. I want to see him fight like Gaethje. I don't know what Gaethje's doing though. I'd like to see him fight Max. Those fights get him to the title. I want to see him get to the title because, like I said, the growth of him has been exponential. I'd love to see Paddy Oliveira.
Oh, it'd be so good, right? On the ground.
That's a great fight. Because aside from that, I want to see Arman fight for the title. Like, I want to see that fight.
MMA legend Demetrius Johnson weighs in on the Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan, and his opinion is strong. He believes Topuria would knock Arman out. According to DJ, Ilia is a fighter who doesn't hesitate to finish fights and doesn't rely on wrestling exchanges to win. On the other hand, he feels Arman isn't the kind of opponent who can truly test Topuria's striking arsenal, making this matchup appear heavily tilted in Ilia's favor, at least in Johnson's eyes.
Like, I don't think he's just going to risk going into where Arman's good just to prove a point.
No, I think he's going to knock Arman out. I don't think he cares to wrestle with anybody. I think he's going to get himself to the right spot and try to knock everybody out.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan has been stirring the pot like a pro. From calling Ilia Topuria a ducking, scary fighter to tweeting that Ilia looks like an Alibaba version of Conor McGregor, Arman has turned up the heat on social media. His playful trash talk isn't just for laughs, it's fueling one of the biggest buzzes in the lightweight division, keeping fans talking and speculation about a potential fight at an all-time high.
Ilia, stop running, Ilia. Stop running, Ilia. Good boy. I'll make it quick, no worries. Good boy.
In another video, Arman Tsarukyan took his trolling to the next level by mocking Conor McGregor through a playful impersonation. The clip shows a friend mimicking Conor while Arman theatrically grabs him over the neck, a clear, cheeky message aimed at the former champ. Beyond the humor, it's classic Arman, using social media antics to hype himself, send jabs at big names, and keep fans buzzing about what he might do next in the octagon. Meanwhile, building on the ongoing chatter, Joe Rogan has stepped in with his perspective, highlighting that a matchup between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan would pose a serious challenge for Topuria. He pointed out the exceptional skill set Tsarukyan brings to the octagon, suggesting that Topuria would have to navigate a tough test if the fight materializes. As a result, the debate over who would come out on top is intensifying, and calls for a showdown between Arman and Topuria are growing louder across the MMA community.
Tsarukyan very good.
That's the guy that Topuria is going to have all the problems with. All the problems.
Yeah, Tsarukyan
It's his toughest fight.
That's his toughest
well,
fight.
Tsarukyan
He'll still be favored, though.
Really,
you think he's going to be favored?
No, I know he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Topuria will be.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's still favored in that fight.
He's got 2 erasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 2 erasers.
And
man.
he grew up wrestling.
Yeah, Tsarukyan can also strike, though, and his wrestling.
Oh, not ridiculous. Like Topuria.
His striking's pretty good.
His striking's good.
Not as
very good.
Nobody on this planet would say it's as good as Topuria's. I think we can give him these problems.
Yeah. Would you put your money on Topuria though in that fight?
I wouldn't put money on that fight.
Amid the ongoing debate over skill levels, Arman Tsarukyan has openly downplayed the hype surrounding Ilia Topuria. He called out Topuria for fading too fast in fights, pointing to what he sees as weaknesses in his overall game. Arman confidently asserts that he's the more complete MMA fighter, highlighting his striking, kicks, grappling, and wrestling, while labeling Topuria primarily as a boxer. He insists that by keeping up relentless pressure and using his wrestling smartly, he can wear Topuria down, gaining the upper hand inside the octagon.
He's a good striker. Not good striker, he's a good boxer. I feel like myself, I'm a better like MMA fighter than him because I have more, I'm more skilled than him. I got good kicks, knees, wrestling, setup, boxing with wrestling against the cage, grappling, everything. He has just good boxing and that's all. So I feel like you gotta just keep pressure him, try him, take him down, make him tired because he gets out so fast with the wrestling. If you watch like fights where he wrestled, he got tired and so fast.
Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has offered his perspective, presenting a counterpoint to Arman Tsarukyan's bold claims. While he recognized Arman's knockout power, Rogan stressed that Ilia Topuria brings a rare and almost instinctive skill set that separates him from most fighters. He pointed to Topuria's distinctive style and his record of finishing top-level opponents as proof of his capabilities. Though many focus on wrestling as the deciding factor, Rogan is particularly impressed by Topuria's undefeated streak, seeing it as a clear indication of his composure and elite skill inside the octagon.
Listen, Tsarukyan knocks people out. He's a very good striker.
Yeah.
But what Topuria has is that weird power.
Yeah.
The same thing we were talking about Pereira. He's got that weird power.
He does get hit though, but he
does get hit, but he wants to get hit.
Yeah.
He wants to throw himself in there so he can get those counters off because he knows when his land,
it's over.
So in that sense, you haven't seen those kind of fight. Look what he stopped 3 legends in a row.
Legends
in a row.
Shut him off.
Max Holloway's never been knocked out.
It's one of the greatest 3-fight win
just
streaks.
as good striking?
I think Tsarukyan's. I would probably say Tsarukyan's wrestling will get the job done.
We're not talking about wrestling.
And it might be a boring fight.
We're not talking about wrestling.
While Ilia Topuria enjoys strong fan support, that backing has only intensified questions about why the UFC hasn't booked the fight. Despite Arman Tsarukyan's recent impressive win and his repeated calls for the matchup, the promotion has yet to take action. In his latest commentary, Sean O'Malley criticized the UFC, calling out what he describes as blatant hypocrisy. O'Malley argues that this fight is essential, yet the organization seems to be favoring Topuria. He claims Dana White is shielding Topuria's career, concerned about the risk of facing Tsarukyan. According to O'Malley, the UFC is applying double standards, effectively preventing Tsarukyan from getting a legitimate title opportunity.
Arman is no fucking joke. Arman versus Ilia is an interesting matchup. I do not think the UFC will make Arman versus Ilia because I think they love Ilia as a champion. He's a great champion, and I don't think they really want Arman to become champion. He has a fucking legitimate chance at beating Ilia. I can't believe I said it. I think Ilia might knock him out, but if anyone has a chance of beating Arman at Ilia at 155, it's Arman, the Turkey Mound, Tsarukyan.
Adding to the discussion, Sean Suga O'Malley claimed that Ilia Topuria is clearly steering clear of Arman Tsarukyan because he knows Tsarukyan has the tools to beat him in the octagon. Despite Topuria's impressive skills and power, O'Malley feels both the UFC and Topuria are hesitant to take on such a dangerous matchup, worried it could tarnish Topuria's record. Sean also suggested that Topuria is playing strategic mind games by going after fighters who are either more popular or less threatening, such as Paddy Pimblett or Islam Makhachev. In O'Malley's view, Arman Tsarukyan remains the one fighter most capable of genuinely challenging and defeating Topuria.
Is he running from Arman?
It's hard to picture anybody beating Ilia right now. It's hard to visualize anybody just being able to go in the octagon with Ilia Topuria and beat him. Just how dominant he's been. You know, realistically, they go get in that cage, it's like, Arman definitely has a chance. He definitely has a shot. Ilia is such a massive superstar right now. It's like, why fight Arman when you could fight Islam or, Gaethje's a bigger fight than Arman, I think. Paddy's a bigger fight. So it just depends on where Ilia's head's at. Does he want to just go out there and, hey, I want the next best guy?
This perspective on Arman Tsarukyan's potential isn't limited to Sean O'Malley. MMA legend Khabib Nurmagomedov has voiced a similar opinion, highlighting who he considers a more formidable opponent for Islam Makhachev. Khabib pointed out that, competitively, Arman Tsarukyan stands a better chance of securing a fight with Makhachev. According to him, Arman is a more complete and serious fighter compared to Ilia Topuria, who has shown fewer standout performances at 155 pounds. Khabib believes that not only could Arman legitimately challenge Topuria, but he might also pose a real threat to Makhachev himself.
Как ты считаешь, кто опаснее сейчас для Ислама Махачева, Арман Царукян или Илья Топурия?
Мое личное мнение, не то чтобы там опасен, скажем так, более конкурентен. Я думаю, что Царукян. Я думаю, Арман посерьезнее боец, чем Топурия. Топурия хороший боец в 66, а в 70 мы его не видели. Я считаю, что Арман более конкурентоспособный для ислама, чем Topuria.
The hype around Arman Tsarukyan isn't slowing down, whether it's trolling Conor McGregor with hilarious impersonations or the growing calls for a showdown with Ilia Topuria. The lightweight division is buzzing like never before. Fans, legends, and fighters alike are weighing in, and the debate over who would come out on top is only getting hotter. Make sure you stay tuned to Boxism for every update, reaction, and insider scoop as this epic rivalry unfolds. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the action.